Well, Kate, first off, how has your summer been going? What have been some things that you've been up to? I know you just mentioned you went to Arizona, but talk to me about your summer
Um,
so far.
yeah, well, my summer's been, I guess, not boring, but I've just been training a lot, getting ready for next year. I know it's going to be a bit of a step up, so I've just been training. And then I went to Arizona, I think last week because we got possession of the apartment. So I was just making sure everything's ready and kind of perfect so that when I move down permanently, I won't have to do a whole lot, just kind of move in. So I just wanted to make sure everything was ready. And then now I'm home and I'm home for the rest of the summer until I have to leave and then just training. Yeah.
There you go. That sounds like fun. First off, welcome to ASU.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about yourself, Kate. Because again, we don't know much about you other than the little post that we got. Tell us a little bit about yourself, about your hockey background. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from Kamloops, which is in Canada, like British Columbia. I've grown up being a multi-sport athlete. Like I played every single sport you could probably think of. Um, and I started playing hockey when I was like 6, but before that I figure skated. Not very well and not very long, but I started off figure skating but I had learned to skate before, like my brother and my dad taught me how to skate, but in hockey skates. So when I started figure skating, like the coaches and they were all like, "Oh, you skate too much like a hockey player." So basically after that practice or lesson, I went home and I told my dad that I wanted to play hockey, just like my big brother. And he was so excited that he took me home and basically just got me dressed in all my brother's hockey gear. And then I was on a team the next week. And I've played boys hockey basically all the way growing up until I was in grade 9. But at the same time, I was playing basically every single sport. So, yeah.
There you go. That's awesome. You mentioned sports. Tell me about the other sports that you played. I mean, you mentioned you played a whole bunch of them. Do you have a favorite other than hockey? Obviously, hockey's got to be the favorite.
Yeah, definitely hockey. I played a lot of soccer and basketball growing up, so those were definitely like my next big sports. I did volleyball for a bit. I did cross country and track and swimming, diving. I did ultimate frisbee for a bit, which was kind of fun. But yeah, I just kind of played every sport, and that was just growing up. I was always a multi-sport athlete, but hockey was definitely always my favorite.
There you go. That's a lot of sports. I'm not gonna lie. That is a lot of
I'm
sports.
busy, yeah.
I think that's the most amount of sports I've heard someone else play that I've interviewed so far. That's crazy. That's ultimate frisbee is also insane. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about your hometown, Kamloops. Obviously, not a lot of people that are probably watching this have been there, but tell us a little bit about the hometown.
Um,
What's there to do there?
there's not a whole lot to do. It's definitely on the smaller side, but it's not like a huge big city, but it's not also super small. But everyone kind of knows everyone. I went to a really small high school before I moved to Penticton for OHA, but basically everyone knows everyone. There's not like a whole lot to do, but probably my favorite thing is just like in the summer or in the winter we like go on outdoor rinks and stuff. And I have an outdoor rink in my backyard that my dad used to make or still does, I guess, for me and my brother to like play in the winter. So that's probably my favorite thing to do when I'm here.
There you go. Unfortunately, it is not cold enough here to do that. I wish though. I wish that's super cool. How did you get? Well, you mentioned how you got into hockey, but tell me a little bit about hockey after you started getting into it. What does your hockey background look like?
So basically I grew up watching my brother play. He plays in the WHL, so hockey has basically always been a part of my life. Like I was a little rink rat running around the rink. Like my brother is definitely a huge influence and inspiration for how far I've come in hockey. I started playing boys, and then when I switched to girls in grade 9, I was just playing in Kamloops. But I'd always watch my brother, and he succeeded so well, and he'd just done so many amazing things that like I wanted to do all that. I look up to him so much. I mean, he's only 2 years older than me, but I always wanted to be just like him. So I kept pushing, and then my brother was like, Dad, you should get her to try out for some of these like higher end teams. And he was basically the one who pushed me into trying out for these teams, and then the one that I guess believed that I could make them. So then I made OHA, which is Okanagan Hockey Academy, which is in Penticton. So for grade 12, that's when I went there and kind of stopped playing all my other sports, which was, I feel like I was really nervous about that at first because sports have always been a part of my life. Like I've always been so busy with everything. So narrowing down to one sport, I thought I'd get bored, but I didn't. I was so busy when I went to OHA. So that was an amazing experience going there, and just like meeting everyone and getting the training there was so amazing. I think it's also gotten me ready for what's to come next year, I think. So yeah, I think my brother and my dad have been a really big influence and a really big part of like my hockey career. And what we always like go and like train and practice out on the outdoor rink in the winter. So I think my brother's definitely been a big part of my hockey.
Yeah, that's super fair. You spoke about the OHA.
Yeah.
Tell me how your season went last season, how you think you did, how you think your team did.
My season was amazing. I loved it so much. I met so many amazing people and trained with so many like talented people. It was so amazing. Getting to go there was something that I kind of always wanted, but I didn't know if I could do. I kind of thought that like, oh, going to an academy, like I don't think I'm good enough to go. But when I tried out and I made it, I was like, wow, like I can do this. So I tried out in like March last year, and then I made it. So then I went in September, and it was such an incredible opportunity. I loved it so much. Our season went really well. We were like a fresh new team. I think there was no returning players except for girls from the younger team. So our team was super fresh, super new. But we had such a great team. We clicked so well on and off the ice. Like it was a wonderful experience.
That's awesome to hear. That's really cool to hear. Um, well, let me transition over a little bit to ASU. Obviously, ASU, like almost on the other side of the continent, um, very far from Canada. Tell me about how you heard about ASU and why you committed to ASU.
Well, I went to the prospect camp last summer. And that's when I kind of got to like interact with some of the team and the coaching staff. But and then I met Coach Lindsay there, and she was talking to me a little bit. And then once I told her I was going to OHA, she kind of said, "Oh, like we'll watch you throughout the season." And then I got to meet with her at one of my tournaments, which was really cool. And then I came and visited in November, and I actually visited at the exact same time that Taylor did, the other girl from OHA, which was funny because we had no idea we were going to visit on the same day. So we visited together, which was kind of cool. And yeah, I think when I was kind of going through my college recruiting process, like where I wanted to go, it was somewhere that not only had a great hockey program, but also somewhere that had like a good education and really good schooling. So I wanted to like be able to be a part of like an incredible team, but also have good education behind me as well. But when I came and visited with the team, it was just like an environment that I really wanted to be a part of. So yeah, that's kind of why I chose ASU. And I get to go to the rink in flip flops, which I think is kind of cool. And there's palm trees everywhere.
I bet again you don't have much of that up north, but that's super awesome that you're excited for that. Awesome. Well, you mentioned Taylor. I kind of heard from her perspective, going to ASU with you, and then kind of like the whole conversation between you two. But I want to hear from you and your perspective. What was kind of the reaction when you heard, you guys were kind of coming as a package deal? What was the conversation between you two?
It was kind of crazy because we went to Nashville before we came to ASU. So we went to Nashville with like a tournament for like with our team for a tournament. And then when we were coming to ASU like together, we didn't know we were coming. There's some girls on the team were talking about it, and then I was like, "Wait, Taylor, are you going to visit ASU?" And she's like, "Yeah, I am." And I was like, "Oh my God!" So then we actually sat together on the plane, and we got to kind of talk about it, because I've kind of noticed like when people are talking about where they're going to go for university, people kind of keep it quiet, like they don't really talk about it. So when I found out that we were going together, I thought it was really cool. And then it was a really different experience than I think what a lot of people have when they go and visit schools because you don't know anyone or you don't get to go with your teammate, which is kind of cool. So, and then we skated, practice with the team together. And then after that, we both found out we made it and we were kind of just like, oh my goodness, like we can go here together if we wanted. And then over Christmas break, that's when I signed, and I texted her and I was like, okay, I signed, like I'm gonna go to ASU, not sure where your head's at, but that's kind of what I'm gonna do. And she was like, I am too, I guess we're gonna be teammates. So that was a really cool experience, I think, getting to go with her and then have like the excitement of making it together, which I think was just, I think it was amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, she essentially said basically the same thing. Um, you know, talking about ASU, and you spoke about your education. What is your major? Have you declared one? And if so,
Uh,
what's your dream job off of it?
yes, I'm going to journalism at Walter Cronkite, which is, yeah, I'm guessing you know a lot about that.
Yep, yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
yeah. So when I visited and skated with the team, I also went and toured the Cronkite building, and I think touring it really just like opened my eyes for how many opportunities can come out of that and like everything that I can do. So I'm going into journalism. I think in later years I kind of want to like go into investigative journalism. But I don't know 100% yet. I'm not set in stone on what I want. I kind of want to see how this year goes and like take a few classes and see what I like the most. But yeah, so I'm going into journalism.
Well, you kind of mentioned you met your new teammates and your new coaches. What were your first impression of the team and the coaches, and how was your first visit to ASU?
Well, the prospect camp last summer was like, I guess my first impression, and it was just kind of like, wow, this is amazing. Like, there's palm trees everywhere. I guess at the prospect camp, I didn't really get to meet a whole bunch of teammates. But when I visited in November, I got to like interact with more people, and it just like it was such like in a cool environment, like something that I really, really wanted to be a part of. I was really welcoming. All the girls were super awesome. And when I was meeting Coach Lindsay and other coaching staff, like I just really liked the direction that they're trying to take the team in. It's just, I think I want to really be a part of like the build that they're coming into. So I'm really excited for the next few years because, yeah, I just can't wait.
That's 100% fair. I'm excited for you. What are you looking forward to most about living in Arizona?
um, Probably getting to meet so many new people. There's just, it's such a big school. I feel like I can meet all types of people. I'm definitely excited for the hockey. I feel like getting to play any level of college hockey is just going to be such a great experience. And definitely going to like the rink in flip-flops, seeing all the palm trees. I feel like the climate is definitely going to be something I'm going to have to adjust to, but I'm excited for that. And I guess getting to meet my new teammates and yeah.
That is the dream right there. Absolutely. You mentioned a couple of things about this upcoming season. Obviously, it's the team's first season as an independent team. You
Yes.
mentioned, this kind of a new era for the team. What are you looking forward to most about this upcoming season?
Um, I feel like just like experiencing my first year of college hockey, and seeing how the team did so well last year, and I feel like we can only build up from here. We've got a bunch of great new players coming in and so many amazing players that are already there. So I think that the team is going in a great direction, and I can't wait to be a part of that.
Awesome. And finally, what else should fans know about you personally, Kate? And what do you think you bring to this team?
Personally, I don't know. I think I'm funny. Maybe people don't. But uh um I don't know, like fun fact, in the summer I surf. I don't know if that's like a fun fact. Like on the lake I kind of surf. Is that what you want? What do I bring to this team? Positivity probably. I feel like I'm pretty positive. So, I think that will help. Yeah.